Welcome to Money Wisdom, sponsored by Johnson Brunetti. I'm Natasha Lubchenko. Here with tips on smart ways to manage our money is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner and Johnson Brunetti partner. Eric, thank you for being here. Today, let's talk about one of our favorite analogies here on Money Wisdom, building our financial house. Talk to us for our viewers who might not be familiar. What does this mean?
Where do you start first with a house? You start with the safe stuff. You start with the bottom. You start with the stuff that's going to hold the whole thing up. And we'll get into that now. And it's not always the most exciting stuff, but it's very often the most important stuff.
All right. So you say there are multiple layers here. We're going to start with the foundation of the house. What is this? What is this made of?
So you're starting out. Let's start with that a younger person. And we think, well, we know we have to save for retirement, and what should we be doing? Look at what your debt is. Look at, are you putting money in, and at the same time more money is going out because you have bad debt, you have bad interest rates. We hope best case scenario. You also have to plan worst case scenario. There are a lot of people out there, particularly younger people. Think about having a mortgage. Think about having little kids who do not have enough life insurance. And I've seen sitting across the table from someone the absolute worst case scenario when something tragic happens and you didn't plan for that stuff, and then financially nothing else matters. That is a foundation asset, is making sure that you are protected. And if you fast forward to retirement and we're married, you can't just plan you're both going to live forever. I hope you do, but you have to make sure the survivor is going to be okay as well. And that's where you get into insurance stuff there. Do you need long-term care? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you certainly need to have a conversation about it. So that's the foundation. You build that first.
All right,
protect
so
it.
We build that first, and now once we get that covered, we're talking about the walls of the house. You say this is assets with limited risk.
Yeah, we can't put it all in the bank making nothing. So sorry, banks, but you have to be getting some type of growth. Do you look at annuities? Some people like them, some people don't like them. Plenty of people don't understand them. Maybe that adds value. Certainly worth a conversation. Do you buy bonds? Bonds are based on interest rates. Interest rates are not great presently, but there's still value there. Maybe you want something that's tax-free. So you start to look at, well, how are we going to grow this money? And it's exciting to talk about, I'm hesitant even to say some of the things that people speculate on these days, but make sure that you're getting steady growth first. You're not going to take a ton of risk with all your money, but you have to make sure that all of it is providing value. So what are those first steps in growing the money? Probably more conservative stuff.
All right. And now once we've covered those, the foundation and the walls, we get to the roof of the house. So this is assets with greater risk.
You need growth. I hope you live to be 100 years old. You need your money to last too. What do people ultimately want? Why are they saving money in the first place? For control, to be able to live how they want to live, to be able to remain independent, to not find themselves in a place at life where they have limited options or don't have options. And now you're doing things that you don't want to do. People say, well, I just don't want to be a burden on my kids. And your kids probably don't think of it that way. But I also understand how someone could think of it that way as a parent, not wanting to have to do that with their kids. So you need to get growth. And if you keep hearing advice from people, well, you've got to take risk if you want to grow your money, and say, I just don't want to take risk. You probably shouldn't be taking risk, but you still need growth, and there's other ways to do it. So that's why, I always say, get different opinions, have these conversations with different people to get different perspectives and to find a good fit, because your money is not more important to anyone else, more so than it is to you. So maybe that's stocks, mutual funds, exchange traded funds. There's a lot of ways to grow your money, but it's got to be part of your plan.
Right. I think this is a great way, to start to look at our financials. And now if we want to dig deeper into this topic, what offer do you have for our viewers today?
It's a nice visual. It's a book. It's called Building Your Fiscal House. And it'll walk you through kind of a step-by-step, do this, then look at this, then look at this. We all want to, my wife and I were just talking about, we have to paint a room and saying like, oh, my wife is actually saying like, I love painting a room. And she likes rolling the walls. You have to edge it first. You have to go step by step. My wife's a great painter, not saying otherwise, but you have to do those foundation things first, or it's going to be incomplete. So go to moneywisdomtv.com. It's Building Your Fiscal House, and it'll walk you through these steps to make sure you're not missing something, which people ask us a lot about. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So again, moneywisdomtv.com. Please read it. No matter where you are, what phase you're in, give it to someone else too. It's good.
Yep, never too early to start. As we always say here, Eric Hogarth from Johnson Brunetti. Great offer as always. Thank you. And if you would like to learn more, again, that website is moneywisdomtv.com. For CT Style, I'm Natasha Lubchenko, and we will see you right back here next week.